Hi everyone, hi collective bit. Today I want to talk about how the spirit communicates with the body. How does the spirit communicate with the body? I've already said that we have the soul, we have the spirit, and we have the body. So every individual has the spirit, which in which we relate and interact with the spiritual realm and the body. So most often the spirit, whether spirit guide, whatever, maybe your angel, whatever, they usually communicate with an individual through the mind. They usually communicate with every person through the mind. So most often, because these spirits are unseen, you don't usually see them physically, except they show themselves in dream or through other means. But conventionally, we don't see them, but we usually feel their presence sometimes. So it depends. So how do we now communicate, or how do they communicate with us? Most of them, they usually communicate through the mind. So what usually happens is this: whenever someone is going through a situation or a difficult time, or someone is trying to find answer to some questions. So doing this, you are trying to get answer from your spirit guide or from your spirit entities, depending on whether you belong to a group or whatever. So most time, these spirits, they usually communicate through the mind. Although there are other ways or other means through which they pass message to an individual. They might pass it through another person. They might pass it through some signs or synchronicities. But most often, what is usually common is that whenever someone is going through a situation or is trying to find an answer to something, when that person stays alone or stay calm and go into deep state of thinking, which we call meditation. During the time of the meditation, because of the daily activities, many people are busy doing one thing or the other. So they don't usually pay attention to their spirits when they are communicating or they are passing message to them. So, but most time when an individual relax or stays alone, calms his mind, be alone, these are the best time that the spirits usually communicate most or pass message most time to an individual. So during this time, this is what you call meditation. You go into deep thoughts. So by so doing, you are giving attention to the spirit. So during that time, when there are different method of meditation. Whether you just calm yourself, you are just taking, or you are performing one rituals or the other, you are saying something, or you are saying some prayer, but silently. You stay out of noise. You stay alone. Some people could be during the night. Some people do it during the day. Some people have a sacred area where they usually do this meditation of it. So most often when we are meditating, we are trying to connect with our spirit. So this spirit will pass message. Most often we do realize that when we are trying to find answer to something. So when we go into meditation, there are always thoughts that usually come to our mind that usually provide solution to most of these uh, problems, or they usually provide answer to these questions. So now these are the best way, or most often the time that these spirits usually communicate with us, because of the daily activities and other things we have been occupied. So when they are passing message through that time, even through another person or through security, most people don't pay attention, especially people that don't usually care about the spiritualism or idealism. Those realistic people, they don't usually pay attention, but people that are more idealistic, they pay attention to everything. Even when they enter a particular environment, they give attention. They try to design what are the spirits that are available. Are they bad spirits? Are they good spirits? So they design. When messages or they are interacting with spirits around those places, they usually know how to communicate and how to navigate such environment. So this is how most of the spirits usually communicate or pass message to an individual. So if you want to create a connection, or you want to communicate with your spirit. Try as much as possible to ensure that you at least meditate, even if it is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes every day. These are the essence of prayer. Sometimes individual prayer is because to engage in meditation. So you don't need to shout out, you don't need to say, you have to calm your mind. When you are meditating, you take out, you concentrate, you go inner, you'll be introspective. So your intuition will be very high, it will awake. So you get connected into the spirit. So they communicate with you. So, but there are times too that when you are in this state, there are other spirits too that usually bring some thoughts. So different thoughts could come from different spirits. Sometimes not only your spirit guide or your spirit pass message to you at this particular, but there are other spirits too that might want to lead you astray or whatever. They usually pass negative message too. So it is not left for you to design. So what I usually say that whenever any negative thought comes into your mind, you have to go against it. But when good thoughts come into your mind, you should know that okay, this is from the spirit guide, this is from God. Then you have to pray and work towards the actualization and manifestation of it. So meditation is one of the practices that we usually engage in to communicate or engage with our spirit or spirit guide.